Welcome to the AI Automations for Business podcast. We're your hosts, Katie and Noel, and we'll be discussing how you can use AI for your business along with the latest news, updates, and automations to help you stay ahead of the curve, allowing you to grow and scale your business more efficiently. Please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, and welcome back to another episode. Hi, hello, I'm Katie, and as always, I have Noel here with me today. How are you doing, Noel?
I'm doing great this week. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you. We're trying to survive another heat wave, aren't we, Noel?
Yeah, it's getting a bit warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Never mind. So we always kick the podcast off with any updates, any news in the AI or automation world that will affect like people using it on like a business level.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, are there any updates or news that we should be made aware of?
So I know we've talked about this for a few weeks now, but old Fable 5 did come back.
It did.
Which is fabulous. It was supposed to be taken away today.
Yes.
Which is Tuesday, the 8th of July. But I believe we've been given another 5 days.
Yes, I had that pop up. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. So by the time this podcast comes out, then if you've got like 2 days left.
Yeah.
So make the most of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure why they're taking it away yet again. But hey ho, we'll soon find out. But
yeah,
one thing that this whole thing has proved and has shown is the sovereignty of AI models. So obviously in the US, they've got all of the main labs. You know, they've got Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini. They're all in the US. So one thing actually that's come out recently as well is like OpenAI have got GPT 5.6 ready to release, but the US government have forced them to only give it to select users and only let them and then like really monitor what they're up to and what they can do with it before they give it to the general public. So yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of that sort of thing going forward, unfortunately. So who knows when 5.6 will come out. It might
maybe as soon as we stop record on the podcast.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's when Fable 5 was announced as coming back. It was the evening after.
Wasn't it like I think we had finished recording at, let's just say like 11:30 a.m. and I think at 6 p.m. the same day it came out.
Yeah. Well, today we're recording on Tuesday, so we're
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, it's usually Tuesday, so that's usually when it comes out. So there's no shifts in the sand from last night. So, I suppose there was because they were telling us we've got another 5 days. So yeah, that's handy.
Yeah, that was handy because I can't remember when I got that yesterday, but I got the pop up when I was using it, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I've been using a lot this week with some of my projects.
Very good.
Obviously, Clyde launched last week. Which has gone
Big
really
news.
well.
Big news.
Huge news.
Huge news.
Yeah. As of recording right now, there are still a handful of free lifetime spots left. They may be gone by Thursday, but if you want to grab one, check it out on the website. We'll leave a link, and you can grab a free account and test out Clyde. But there's lots of updates I've added in this week to that. So.
And Clyde is your AI agent, just in case anyone is listening for the first time and they're like, what the heck is Clyde? It is your AI agent, that you have built yourself in response to Clawbot, OpenClaw.
Maltbot was the other name.
Yeah. Because you wanted something that was more secure and more user friendly, especially for beginners.
Yes. 100%. Yeah, you do need some sort of technical knowledge to use those sort of tools, unfortunately. Whereas with this one, it's getting easier. So although it was easy last week, it's got easier this week because we allow access to models from OpenRouter, which has hundreds of AI models to pick from. But obviously, it's kind of difficult to work out, well, which one do I pick? Do I pick the cheapest one? How good's that going to perform? So this week, I know AI stuff loves a benchmark. So I created the ClydeBench this week. So I'm going through and testing all of the models and how it performs with tasks within Clyde. So yeah, when users come in and say, I want to use OpenRouter, we've got it in a rank system so they can see which ones perform best, things like that. So yeah, lots of awesome stuff going on in there.
Okay, shall we dive into this week's podcast episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Noel, do you want to start us off? Because we were having this conversation, I believe, yesterday, and I was like, this is so interesting, and I feel like it make a really good discussion point. So do you want to start off with like how we even started having this conversation in the first place?
So with the World Cup, England played at 2 a.m. So I was scrolling LinkedIn at 2 a.m. as you do. And I came across a post that was basically showing an N8N AI agent. And they were basically saying that AI agents, they always confidently fail. So they'll say, yeah, I've done it. And actually, they haven't done their task. But yeah, what really annoyed me actually was the image that they put on there was actually created by OpenAI. It wasn't actually a real life image from N8N. So
Right.
it's like, so there's a bit of misinformation going on. And I went through the comments, and there was lots of people that were like, I don't know why anyone uses them. They're just rubbish. And I was like, that they're not. That's just one person's opinion, which has been, technically falsified, really, with an AI image. I mean, thankfully, LinkedIn shows you in the top left-hand corner, doesn't it, when there's an AI image? So yeah, and then once I commented on that post, I then got LinkedIn was like, "Oh, you're really interested in this, so I'm going to give you loads more." And I was like, "Oh," so clearly there's a problem with how people understand agents. And yeah, in this episode, we're also going to go through maybe a few things that can make them better. Make your experience better.
Yeah, I think so, because why do they work for some people but not for other people? Yet people can be using like the same models, the same technology, the same plugins, all of these different things. Yet someone gets amazing results and someone doesn't, and you think you're doing something wrong, but actually it could just be due to a lot of actual different factors, couldn't it?
Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. Especially when you're on like platforms like no-code platforms like N8N, Zapier, and Make. There is quite a bit of wiggle room in there in what they can do, and things like some platforms are better than others as well. But yeah, there's lots of factors that go into it.
So the first thing really is to ensure that you've got the right platform for what you are wanting to build, what AI agent you want.
Yes, I've tested all of them apart from Zapier because their pricing is just, it's just ridiculous. I'm not paying $80 odd a month just to try an agent. They're not worth that amount of money to me. Whereas platforms like N8N and Make, you can get started for free and use them or on a far lower pay plan. But with N8N, which was being shown in that post, I would say, although they were the first platform to come out with agents and they went viral, late 2024, I would say their agent systems are actually worse than the likes of Make.com. So their agents do confidently fail and misuse tools all the time. I don't know what goes on in the background as to how it uses that, what's in the code of N8N, but something in there isn't quite right and hasn't never really been right. So yeah, I've had people even on calls saying, I'm just going to use my agent to book in our next call, and it just didn't. And
Yeah.
it came back and went, yeah, I've done it. And it's like,
No, you
we're
haven't.
just like, no, you didn't. And we looked through it and it was like, no, it didn't. So, yeah, although they were the first, I would say probably not the best. Sometimes it will work, obviously, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. Whereas with make.com, what I find with them is they must have like better guardrails within their agent systems. So, it's using tools more consistently. It's just performs far, far better. And yeah, they took their time. They didn't dive into agents. It took them probably about 5 months to release their first iteration of agents. So yeah, thankfully they did take their time because it worked really well out of the box. Even with like a really terrible system prompt, it would still work it out for you, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really good to know. Okay, so first things first is make sure that you are using the right platform.
Yes. There's obviously coded options as well. So if you are a developer or you're getting into that side of thing, there are frameworks that you can use from Anthropic or LangChain and things like that you can then code it. And then it's kind of then up to you to make those guardrails and things like that, make it work better. So coding wise, it is a bit more reliable, but for no code, which probably most people listen to this is probably going for, I would say Make is where to go.
Okay, great.
Not sponsored by.
Not sponsored by make.com, unfortunately.
No.
Make.com, if you want to sponsor us, then we will take that sponsorship. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our email is hello@makemotivations.ai.
Yeah, we'll be
and
sat there waiting.
Myself or to Noel.
One day.
Okay, so what would we do once we've ensured that we're using the right platform for what we want to build?
The next and probably the most important bit is picking the right AI model, which is essentially, the brain behind your agent. So we need to go off and pick the right one for your use case. And yeah, unfortunately, they're not all built the same. Each provider has different models that are available. So, ChatGPT's got GPT 5.5, soon to be 5.6. Anthropic have got Haiku, Sonnet, Opus, and Fable. So they all vary in intelligence and they all vary in capability. So it's kind of, you need to go off and find the one that's going to fit your particular use case. It's really quite crucial to get that right.
And how do you make sure that you are actually using the correct model for the agent you want to build?
So fortunately, most of them, especially the big ones from OpenAI and Anthropic, they provide benchmark scores for like agent calling, agent logic, agent tool use. So basically pick the one that's the smartest out of those to get yourself started. Yes, it will probably be more expensive to start out with, but at least then you can then maybe dial it back and then maybe use an earlier model which has those sort of agent capabilities, and then test that out, see how it works, and things like that. And then that would then help you reduce your cost over time.
Okay, so we're ensuring that we pick the correct AI model to ensure that essentially the brain we're giving our AI agent is the best that we can possibly give it.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So it doesn't also just come down to intelligence either. There was something that popped up in the Clyde community this morning, was kind of like, well, could we show within Clyde like how basically like what the agent can do? Is it just text only? Does it do files? Does it do video? Does it do image? And things like that. So depending on your use case, you need to take that into account as well, because some of them won't be able to read PDFs. So if you need that, then make sure you pick a model that will allow you to do that. So yeah.
And I guess the same as well, like if you want to create images, then you need to make sure that you're using a model that can actually generate those images.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. They all make it really clear as to what they do. So it's just making sure you've picked the right one.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be next on your list, Noel?
So the next one is getting the right system prompt And most importantly as well with that is having the right tool descriptions as well. So with tools, I'll go through that very quickly, but when you have an AI agent, you can assign tools to it. So that could be like connecting it to Slack. It could be connecting it to Notion and things like that. So each of those connection in an agent world is called a tool. So when you connect those together, you need to describe what that tool's there. What does it do? When should the AI agent use it? So when your query comes through, it goes, oh, okay, they're talking about Slack. There's a Slack tool there. They want to create a message. I'll use the create a message tool, and it will go off and then use that properly. So making sure they're defined will make sure that the agent is using those tools, and it doesn't do that. Yeah, I've done it, and then it hasn't done it. So that kind of mitigates that issue. But you can put all of that within the system prompt and things like that. And like platforms like make.com, they allow you to edit those tool descriptions and things like that when you connect different applications in. So yeah, you can really make sure that the agent knows what to do and how to do it and when to do it. So yeah, it's really, really important.
Yeah. And then what about the prompts?
So yeah, the prompts are really important. They need to be in like a structured format. So you need to give it like a goal. What's its purpose? What does it need to do?
Yeah.
What is it expected to do? The kind of outputs you're expecting. What can it expect from you as the user as well is also kind of good to put in. So, well, these are the kind of things you're going to get. This is then what we want out of it. And then within there,
you need to be like really direct, don't you?
Yes.
With it. There's
Yes.
like don't include any like fluffy language or like additional words or thoughts, or would likes. It's very direct, isn't it? So
Yes.
it's really clear and it can't be like misinterpreted.
Yes, I would say like if you're using like ChatGPT or Claude, like yes, you're technically prompt engineering by asking it and going through all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to agents, that's kind of like a bit of a separate skill to get that nailed down. What I would say though is like ChatGPT and Claude are actually very good these days at creating those prompts for you. So if you have an agent, you kind of know what you want. You could ask it to then create that prompt for you in the right format, and it will do that for you. So yeah, they used to be absolutely abysmal at creating those. So these days, thankfully, they're actually pretty good. So yeah, they'll help you out a hell of a lot.
Yeah, good to know. Okay, what else would you say is important when building out your AI agent to make sure it works exactly how you want it to work?
So I guess for this one, it's kind of to expect it I kind of had the expectation to need to continually work with it, especially in the early stages. So you kind of need to put time aside to test it properly and then use it in a day-to-day basis and basically then learn how to then iterate and make it better going forward. So you might get lucky and absolutely nail it in one go the first time of trying, and it just works perfectly for the rest of its time. But yeah, I would always expect to have a little bit of play, and refining it over time. So it's kind of getting into that mindset of like going, right, these are the results it gave me recently. Am I happy with those? Is there anything I need to update within the agent? So yeah, that's really quite important. And it also helps you in the long run, so you don't get any of these, overconfident errors and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's really good to know. Really helpful.
Yeah.
And then is there anything else that we need to be aware of?
Yes, there's one, and it's very, very important. This one. We've mentioned it a few times in multiple episodes, I think, but you kind of need to understand when to use an agent. So you may have come up with a use case and go, I'm going to use an agent, but actually it's kind of important to learn when not to use an agent, or maybe when you just don't need one.
Like when is it an AI agent? When is it an automation?
Exactly, yes.
which we have talked about several times. We've done a whole episode on it, which we will link below if you want to go and check that out, just in case you want to make sure that actually what you're building in terms of an AI agent isn't actually just something that you could use a automation for.
Absolutely, yeah. This, yeah, because if you're looking for like consistent outputs, maybe an agent's probably not the way to go.
Yeah.
Or if you're wanting to start off a workflow via a conversation, then that's probably an agent. You can't start an automation with a conversation, unfortunately.
No.
so yeah, that's
Not yet.
Not yet. No, maybe one day.
Yeah. It's probably going to be sooner than we think as well. Let's be honest.
When we've all got implants from, Elon Musk and stuff in our heads, and we can just think about it and it starts.
Won't be that far away. Honestly, we'll be sat here this time next year, and we'll be like, oh yeah, you can start a conversation, and create an automation.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I know it will. Yeah. It wasn't on our prediction list though.
No, it's going on my prediction list. Am I allowed to start a prediction list halfway through the year?
That's cheating, isn't it?
Oh.
Although half of mine were done in the first month, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's going on mine.
Fair enough. I'll add it to the list.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But yeah, they're kind of like the main points to get you that better experience, so you don't run into these sort of issues with your AI agents going forward. So yeah, hopefully that's been helpful for everyone.
And of course, you can use Clyde as your AI agent if you want to. There's a free school community, so if you do need some extra help or guidance, Noel is in there answering your questions and tech-related woes, I like to call them, making sure that you are doing all of these things, like using the right platform, picking the correct model, your prompts and your tools. Being a bit patient, not expecting things to go right the very first time, and actually ensure that what you are building is for an agent and it couldn't be just for an automation, as well as a host of other things. Like Noel, if you've listened to the podcast before, Noel is a wealth of knowledge. We have lots and lots of episodes. If this is your first time listening, please do go back and listen to some others. Noel gives all of his information for free. And like we said, there are just now a handful of those free Clyde spaces available. So go and grab them. You can either find it via the website or via the school community. And of course, if you don't want to join Clyde, you can also come and join us on our LinkedIn group, which is AI Automations for Business. It's completely free. And again, in there, you can let us know what you're building. Let us know how you're using AI in your business. We absolutely love hearing how you're using AI within your business or automations within your business. Honestly, the things that we've been told has just been absolutely fascinating and so interesting. So we love hearing it. So yes, again, we'll put the link in the show notes, but otherwise you can just search LinkedIn AI Automations for Business and you'll find us, and it's free to join. But thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast episode, and we'll catch you for another one very soon.